got any introductions? There she is.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Tanika Starks, and I'm an Assistant Attorney General with Louisiana Department of Justice, and I'll be presiding over today's administrative hearings, which will be conducted pursuant to Louisiana Administrative Procedure Act and the Board's administrative rules. I will govern the procedure by which we operate, administer oaths and affirmations, rule the admissibility of evidence, and ensure due process for all participants during the hearing. The Board will make all findings of fact and conclusions of law, and while this is not a court of law, we will follow the procedures established in the Louisiana Administrative Procedure Act. We ask for decorum and order throughout these proceedings, and at this time, would you please silence all cell phones? If any board member needs to recuse themselves from a matter, please do so when the item is called on the agenda, and note your recusal for the record. If anyone has any questions on the proceedings, please let me know during the hearing, and I will address them. Thank you.
I need consideration of the October 17th, November 21st, and December 12th minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Beavers.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. If we could begin by swearing in the staff and investigators. The following people, please. Jude Matthews, Ronald Dossie, Blaine Anderson, Joe Anderson, Frank Vaughn, Todd Eatman, Clay Rivas, Lori LaRose, Darlene Borg, and Leanne Evans, and myself.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Under public comment, I don't think we have anybody. If we do it, now's the time. If not, I would like to recognize our illustrious member whose birthday is today, Mr. Lambert. How many years, Mr. Lambert?
90 years old.
He's not. How many years you been here? Here.
50, I guess.
I think we're going to get a resolution for your service of 50 years. I don't think anybody's going to match that anytime soon. But I wanted to recognize him and thank you for your service, Mr. Lambert.
Happy birthday.
Yep. You want to speak? You want to talk?
No, I don't think so. Okay.
That would be your birthday present from us, let you talk.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, if no other comments, that we move new business down to, down after the hearings to discuss some other business.
Motion second?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Motion approved, we'll move that to the backside. All right, enforcement hearings, ready to go?
Ready? Okay. The first item under D1, Tomco Retail Construction, Inc. Are any representatives present?
Please state your names and affiliation with the company.
Ann Motchel, owner, president.
Jennifer Erickson, Director of Construction.
Okay, now, Ms. Jennifer, I'm sorry, can you please state your name? Ann, Ms. Ann. Is she authorized to speak on behalf of the company with you?
She is also an owner of the company.
Okay, thank you. Can you both raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. And when you, please speak into the microphone.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can we get those names again? Sorry, I can barely hear you.
My name is Ann Motchel.
Okay,
And Jennifer Erickson.
all right.
Tomco Retail Construction, Inc. of Grand Prairie, Texas is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor to perform plumbing work on the Starbucks remodel project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $27,500. This is their second appearance. They were here May 16th of 2024 for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, pled no contest, and paid $2,000. They've held a commercial license since December 29th of 2016.
And how do you all plead on behalf of the company?
No contest.
Move to accept.
Second. Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
We'll call
Roland Matthews.
Mr. Matthews has been sworn.
Mr. Matthews, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter? They were. We'll offer those exhibits into the record.
Have you all had an opportunity to review those documents that have been offered into the record?
Yes.
Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
No.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Matthews, according to the records, it appears that Tomco Retail entered into an agreement to perform construction work, and that would be plumbing work with an unlicensed contractor, is that right?
That is correct.
And the total amount of that contract was $27,500, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know if that plumber actually did work on the project?
He began work. I don't think he completed the work. Once notification was made that he was unlicensed, the company, Tomco, made some sort of arrangements to get a different subcontractor to finish plumbing work.
Okay. Was this on a Starbucks facility?
It was.
Okay. No further questions.
Do you all have any questions for this witness? No. Can you speak into the microphone?
No.
Thank you. Do you have anything to offer the board as to a penalty or any explanation as to the charges?
Yeah, of course. So we knew that we could just put in this settlement offer ahead of time. We wanted to show up. We wanted to let you guys know that we take it seriously. Yeah, we came in hoping to offer a settlement today. We just wanted to show up so that you knew that we're a real company, we're doing our best. It was not an intentional violation. As soon as we knew that the sub was unlicensed, we replaced him immediately. We had sent various emails internally to our team, reiterating multiple times, make sure in the state of Louisiana, everyone is compliant. I have copies of those emails. Unfortunately, the team did not do due diligence, and so when the contract came to me, I signed it, but then as soon as we realized, we fired them. So it is no contest. We just wanted to come here and let you know that we take it seriously, and we wanted to offer a settlement.
Certainly appreciate that. Ms. Evans, can you remind us again, when was the last violation?
They were before the board on May 16th of 2024.
Okay, all right, so this is the second violation?
Yes, sir.
Within a year, all right.
It was actually an overlap of timing, so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
This was the same subcontractor as well.
Okay.
Who had been assuring us repeatedly that he was in the process of getting his license. Jennifer and I are in executive management positions. We rely on our staff to do due diligence. It slipped through the cracks, and
They were contracted again.
How much work do you guys do in the state of Louisiana?
Maybe two, yeah.
A lot? Okay, well, good. Are you familiar with the app we have to
We are now.
verify?
We were just
All right, so
making
I would tell you that you sound like you outlined some good measures and to mitigate these things in the future, but it's happened, a couple times. So
Yeah.
with that, I would say that you go back and require every one of your employees to put that app on their phone. It's too easy.
Right.
It's just simply too easy. So with that, we've already got a no contest and again, some mitigating things, but I'd like to offer, you said you wanted to make an offer. Is there an offer you wanted to?
1,000 plus costs?
How about if we counter with that on maybe a 1,500, since it's your second violation on that?
We agree.
Of course.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept that offer of 1,500 plus costs of $1,000.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Next case.
Thomas Sledge, doing business as Select Plumbing Solutions, or any representatives present?
The record reflect that no one is present for Thomas Sledge, DBA Select Plumbing Solutions.
Thomas Sledge, doing business as Select Plumbing Solutions of Denison, Texas, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform plumbing work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Starbucks remodel project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $27,500. This is his second appearance. He was here May 16th of 2024, found guilty, fined $1,000 plus $1,000 in costs to be reduced to cost only if licensed within 120 days. That $2,000 is still owed. He has not applied, and he does not hold a license with the plumbing board.
Call Roland Matthews.
Mr. Matthews has been sworn.
Mr. Matthews, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4, were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business or license board for contractors for this matter?
Yes.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 admitted.
Mr. Matthews, according to the records, it appears that Thomas Sledge, doing business as Select Plumbing, was provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
That is correct.
It also shows that they agreed to perform work or provide an estimate to perform plumbing work in the amount of $27,500 on a commercial project in the state of Louisiana. Is that correct?
That's also correct.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform plumbing work in the state of Louisiana. Is that correct?
Yes.
We submit to the board that Thomas Sledge, doing business as Select Plumbing Solutions, is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws for failure to possess a contractor's license with this board and performing work on a commercial project in the amount of $27,500. As such, you find them guilty of this violation and issue appropriate fines and costs.
Joseph, move to find a violation.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Max fine plus cost, Joseph.
Second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next case.
RAM General Contracting and Development Incorporated, or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect the notice present on behalf of RAM General Contracting and Development, Inc.
We have a settlement offer. RAM General Contracting and Development, Inc. of Tampa, Florida is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into contracts with unlicensed contractors to perform work on the Devon Self-Storage Project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $599,820.50. This is their first appearance. They've held a commercial license since January of 2023. They're offering a no contest plea, a $3,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Ronald Dawson.
Can you repeat his name? I'm sorry.
Ronald Dawson.
Mr. Dawson has been sworn.
Mr. Dawson, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business to license board for contractors for this matter? We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept. Temple, second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next case.
A&B Flooring, Inc., or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect that no one is present for A&B Flooring, Inc.
We have a settlement offer. A&B Flooring, Inc. of Orland, Indiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Devon Self-Storage Project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $164,470.50. This is their first appearance. They applied for a commercial license on April 24th of 2024. It is pending registration with the Secretary of State's office and exam. They're offering a no contest plea, a $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Ronald Dawson.
Mr. Dawson has been sworn.
Mr. Dawson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensed board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Max.
Joseph, move to accept.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next case.
Cooper's Welding and Fabrication, LLC, or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Cooper's Welding and Fabrication, LLC.
We have a settlement offer. Cooper's Welding and Fabrication, LLC of Andalusia, Alabama is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Devon Self-Storage Project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $189,792. This is their first appearance. They have not applied yet. They're offering a no contest plea, a $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Ronald Dawson.
Mr. Dawson has been sworn.
Mr. Dawson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensed board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept.
Second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next case.
Iron Spade Construction Group, LLC, or any representatives present.
Let the record reflect that no one is present for Iron Spade Construction Group, LLC.
Iron Spade Construction Group, LLC of Valrico, Florida is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Devon Self-Storage Project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $245,558. This is their first appearance, and we do not have an application on file.
Call Ronald Dawson.
Mr. Dawson has been sworn.
Mr. Dawson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensed board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Dawsey, according to the records, it shows that Iron Spade Construction Group LLC was provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing date by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It also shows that Iron Spade entered into an agreement to perform construction work in the amount of $244,558 on a commercial construction project in the state of Louisiana. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And at the time, Iron Spade Construction Group did not possess licensing with this board to perform construction work in the state of Louisiana. Is that correct?
That's correct.
We submit to the board that Iron Spade Construction Group LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board to perform commercial construction work in the amount of $245,558. We ask that you find them guilty of that violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find a violation.
Temple, second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Max fine and cost.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next case.
Kevin Wells, doing business as Blackstone Investments LLC and the Space Place Mini Storage. Are any representatives present?
I am.
Can you please state your name and your affiliation with the company?
My name is Kevin B. Wells, and I'm managing member of Blackstone Investments LLC.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Kevin Wells, doing business as Blackstone Investments LLC and the Space Place Mini Storage of Amite, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Space Place Mini Storage Project in Amite, Louisiana, in the amount of $601,880.06. This is his first appearance, and we do not have an application in file.
Mr. Wells, how do you plead to the charges on behalf of the company? You can plead guilty, not guilty, no contest. By offering a plea of no contest, you are not admitting or denying any of the allegations, but you may be responsible for paying a fine that the board determines that you are guilty of paying. If you plead not guilty, we have to go through a full hearing. If you plead no contest, we just move to the penalty phase.
Is a full hearing held here today?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I have a little conflict here. I would like to say no contest, but I want to state my case.
You'll have to have that.
You can do that.
I do that? Okay, no contest. But I would like to state my case.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And we'll proceed out. They'll allow you to state your case, but we're going to go through a process prior to.
Call Blaine Anderson.
Mr. Anderson has been sworn.
Mr. Anderson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of a licensed board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Wills, have you had an opportunity to review those documents that he is offering to the record?
I'm sorry, what now?
Have you had an opportunity to review the documents that
I have,
counsel?
yes.
Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
No, it's all true.
Okay. Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Anderson, according to the documents, it appears that Kevin Wells, doing business as Blackstone Investments LLC, entered into various subcontracts with subcontractors to perform work on a mini-storage building. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And the total amount of that work was $601,880.06, according to the documents that have been attached. Is that right?
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Mr. Wells, you can, if you have any questions for this witness, you can ask him questions. If not, we will move to the penalty phase, and you'll be able to state your case to the board.
I'm not going to argue with what the facts are and the law of the state. I'm going to plead, which is ignorance, but I've been building my own storage buildings since 1997. I am not a licensed general contractor. I am born and raised in Baton Rouge. I moved to Macomb, Mississippi in 1984 after I graduated from Terra High School. Went to a community college and then Southeastern. So all I'm trying to say is I did not do anything here with malicious intent of trying to, quote, underskirt the law, break the law. In 2011, when I built the first phase there in Tangipahoa Parish, I hired Reed Metal Erectors. He's a general contractor, but he's built 30 buildings for me in Mississippi. I've always handled, quote, the concrete, the foundation work, and then he did the erecting from there up. I've always had relationships with my electrician because he knows how I do all of my electrical work, all state specification, all legal, all correct. My air conditioning guy, they just know what I do, and they can give me a quote, a price, within 2 days because they have the footage of my buildings and they know how I do things. All of this, again, is code for Mississippi and Louisiana. So back in 2011, in my first phase, you know, the problems that I run into, and again, these are not your problems, they're my problems, and they're frustrating, and which causes me to respond to do things the way I do. Again, not out of anger, not out of malicious intent, but we were actually pulling permit from a Miss Betty in Amite, Louisiana, just or north of Louisiana there. And we're trying to get the permit pulled. I gave her the 911 address for the project. At the time, I didn't have 911 addresses for the street that I was building. But anyway, it was 10156 Highway 16, Amite, Louisiana. And Mr. Bobby is there with me. We're pulling permit, and she's going through all these things, question after question, and under her breath, without her knowing she said it, she said, "Let me see what else I can find wrong here." And Mr. Bobby looked at me, and I looked at him. It was like almost like she was trying to stop me from doing this project, and I didn't understand that. But anyway, she gave me a permit cost of like $2,900. I paid it, and I got out of there. I was happy to have it. I get to the red light in Amite, fixing to turn right onto Highway 16, going to the project. She calls me, and she says, "Mr. Wells, you gave me some incorrect information." She said one building was 10,156 square feet. I said, "No, ma'am, I didn't." I said, "That's my 911 address." So we had to turn around and go back, and the permit was only like 1,800 instead of 2,900. So that gave me a taste of what was going on here. And I'm like, everything I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do it right, trying to do it legal, all these things. So I didn't do anything until 2023. And again, it was very frustrating. And I ordered my buildings, because I order my own buildings. I've ordered over 50 of them. And when I talked to the guy there, Scott, the owner of Premier Building Systems, I asked him, "Do you have anybody you can recommend to erect my buildings? Somebody that does these things on a regular basis?" He said, "Oh, yeah." He gave me the name of that Chacon, and they gave me a price. Now, the last project I did was in Brookhaven, Mississippi, almost identical to the size. It took 1.5 years to get it completed. A lot of rain was an issue, but couldn't find help. My local contractor just couldn't keep help. So I wanted to go with somebody that was going to get this project done. So my uncle, George Wall, who is not here today because of his wife, she's very sick right now, I hired him as my general contractor to pull permit.
He was licensed?
Licensed.
Was he
He is licensed, yes.
He is licensed?
Yeah. And so we had to submit our drawings to the state fire marshal. We started the process October the 1st, and it was not until January 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere right in there that we got state fire marshal approval. The permit office in Hammond had already told us that as soon as they sign off on it, we're ready. We're ready to go. You've got everything in line. So Uncle George gets over there to pull permit, and I'm saying it was around January 10th or 11th. And some girl in there by the last name Dunnington tells him, "You got to have foundation drawings." And Nick LeBlanc, who was the guy over there, the boss, he wasn't available at that time, and Uncle George went, "What?" I was told by Nick LeBlanc that everything was good to go. So I'm in Slidell looking at some old pine flooring to put in a house that I'm restoring that I live in now. He calls me, he's very upset, and I leave, and I come back through Hammond, and I stop, and the people there...
Mr. Wells, that's a great story, and I'm enjoying it.
Get to the point.
Along with this.
Get to the point,
You need
okay.
the points, so we can move on.
I'm there. But anyway...
I'm enjoying the story, but...
I'm sorry. I just wanted to I wanted to give an example of what I was going through. So we got permit on the 15th.
But your issues with the fire marshal, we have no control over.
Yeah.
The issues you're having with the permit office, we have no control over. Our only concern is that your licensure is correct.
I thought when I had to buy 3 permits, one per building.
We got nothing to do with that.
So can I?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So what you've described yourself, up until recently, your uncle, who was a licensed contractor, you've been acting as a general contractor.
Yeah.
Everything you've explained, it sounds like you would be a good general contractor.
I understand.
But you've been operating outside of the law. And in violation.
I understand that.
And in violation of the law. So that's where we are, and you pled no contest, and that's fine. What's your intention moving forward?
Yeah.
Because are you going to continue doing this, or are you going to...
No.
Okay, so you're going to stop building, or what do you plan on
No,
doing?
when I have total of 12 acres, 4 acres allotted for my storage site, and as I need, I will build more buildings.
Okay, so are you going to operate as a general contractor, or are you going to hire a properly licensed general contractor? Because by buying the building, by doing all these things, all that affects procedurally whether you're operating as a general contractor yourself.
I will follow the law without question.
When you going to get a license, you think, or just...
I'm not going to get a license. I'm retired, actually.
That's a good answer. The question is
No,
going forward.
I would hire a general contractor and...
All right, so,
Okay.
what else? What else?
I think we're ready to move on. I think we've heard
You got
enough.
something else to say?
Yeah.
Again, and Mr. Blaney, we had words several times, and my air conditioning guy, I paid him his fine for what he paid.
That's okay. Well, look,
Was he
right now,
licensed?
do you have any, was he not?
They're all licensed.
They're all licensed.
To the penalty phase.
I just have one question. Do you understand the law for contracting, and do you understand what you've done wrong here?
I do. I do.
Okay.
All right,
So
what
you
else?
know-
I thought I was helping my uncle
Okay.
because I had done, and I should have...
Mr. Wells, I'll give you one more minute. You got anything else you want to tell?
I'm done.
You're done? Okay. Mr. Gluck, you got a penalty phase?
Yeah.
Was he gonna make an offer, or do you?
You want to make an offer?
I was going to do that before I even came here today, and I didn't
Here's your
have any idea what
You
to
can do it
offer.
right now. I'll give you an opportunity to do
I heard a lady offer $1,500 a while ago,
So you're offering 1,500 plus?
And that would be plus cost of hearing.
plus the cost of hearing, yeah.
Okay.
You got a civil offer.
It's up to you guys.
You don't plan on getting licensed?
No, sir, I live in Mississippi, and I would hire a general contractor to do the rest of my
A
work.
job like this, a general contractor will charge you 8 to 10%, 50 to 60,000.
His
I
uncle's...
don't know what the requirements are to become a general
I
contractor.
got you.
Yes, but look.
I mean, I'd love to be one, I just don't know what's
Hold
required.
on, we got seven off. What you want to do with that?
Joseph, move to accept.
A motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Got it. Be sure you hire your contractor.
And Mr. Wells, don't hire a general contractor and just pay him to pull a permit, because you'll be back here again.
Yeah.
They actually have to have a contract to do the work, okay? They have to have a full contract to do the work, and they have to pay all your subs. You can't pay your subs directly.
And if you-
Your general contractor has to pay
And
all
I
your subs.
understand that.
If you have any questions, you can call up here. They'll help you. Call
We
up
were
here.
finished with the project whenever he reached out to me. I did not,
I get it, but going forward, if you have any questions, call up to compliance.
And we agree that we have some issues with permit officers, but we're working on that too.
We're working on that too.
by the way, my stepfather was Linton D. Corkin. Did y'all ever know Corkin Plumbing?
I remember the name, yep.
But hey, motion's good. Have a nice trip back.
Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate you coming in.
Next case.
Chakan Drywall LLC, are any representatives present?
I was lost in the...
Let the record reflect that no one is present for Chakan Drywall LLC.
Chacon Drywall LLC of Charlotte, North Carolina is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Space Place Mini Storage Project in Amite, Louisiana, in the amount of $398,565.46. This is their first appearance, and they have not applied.
Call Blaine Anderson.
Mr. Anderson has been sworn.
Mr. Anderson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business or licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
Will offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Anderson, according to the records, it also shows that Exhibit 4, that Chacon was provided with notice of this hearing by certified mail and also of its violation by certified mail. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Also shows that they entered into an agreement to perform work on a storage facility in the amount of $398,565.46. Is that correct?
Yes.
And at the time did not possess any licensing with this board to perform that work. Is that correct?
Correct.
We submit to the board that Chacon Drywall LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board and agreeing to perform construction work in the amount of $398,565.46. Ask that you find them guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Joseph, move to find a violation.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Joseph,
opposed?
max fine and cost.
Second.
Wait a minute. Motion carries. Now, Max Fine and a second.
Yes, sir.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Got that twice.
Strategic Planning Associates LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Strategic Planning Associates, LLC.
We have a settlement offer. Strategic Planning Associates LLC of Kenner, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor to perform plumbing work on the Armitage LLC project in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the amount of $14,500. This is their second appearance. They were here July 19th of 2023 for a license loan, pled no contest, and paid $3,500. They've held a commercial license since May of 2009 and a residential license since September of 2019. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Joseph Anderson.
Mr. Anderson has been sworn.
Mr. Anderson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business or licensing board for contractors for this matter?
They were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept. Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next case.
Quincy Jennings, doing business as Plumwine Plumbing, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Quincy Jennings, DBA Plumline Plumbing.
Quincy Jennings, doing business as Plumline Plumbing of Gretna, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform plumbing work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Armitage LLC project in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the amount of $10,554. This is his second appearance. He was here July 18th of 2024 for not having the license, found guilty, fined $1,280 plus $1,000 costs. That fine is still owed. He has not applied. He is an active master plumber with the plumbing board, though.
Call Joe Anderson.
Mr. Anderson has been sworn.
Mr. Anderson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business or license board for contractors for this matter?
They were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Anderson, according to Exhibit Number 4, it appears that Quincy Jennings was provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Also shows that Quincy Jennings entered into an agreement to perform plumbing work in the amount of $10,554. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that plumbing work. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that was on a commercial project as well. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Submit to the board that Quincy Jennings, doing business as Plumline Plumbing, is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws to performing plumbing work or agreeing to perform plumbing work in the amount of $10,554 without possessing the necessary licensing with this board. Ask that you find him guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Find him guilty.
Second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Maximum fine, but this is his second offense, right?
Yes, sir.
Should we, as a board, notify the plumbing commission?
He has a master plumber's license.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's gonna continue doing this. We're not getting him his attention the first time.
We've notified him of stuff in the past to no avail.
Okay.
He has a master plumber's license, so they...
All right, well, maximum fine.
Cost as well. Nice.
And costs, yeah, back to 5.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Porter Development Unlimited LLC, are any representatives present?
Good morning.
Can you state your name and your affiliation with the
Troy
company?
Porter, manager.
Okay. And are you testifying on behalf of the company, sir? Oh, okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Porter Development Unlimited LLC of New Orleans, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into contracts with unlicensed contractors to perform work at 6217 through 6219 North Rampart Street in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the amount of $56,500. This is his fifth appearance. He was here May 6th of 2009 for not having a residential license, pled guilty, and paid $500. He was here February 16th of 2022 for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, pled no contest, and paid $1,500. He was here on September 15th of 2022. He appeared for 4 cases on this date, charges of failure to provide documents and entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor, pled no contest, and paid $5,000. And the board ordered licenses to be suspended until the fine was paid and documents were provided to the board. He was here May 16th of 2024 for a license loan, pled no contest, fined $1,000 plus $1,000 cost. On December 12th of 2024, he entered into a conditional license agreement, has made one payment of $166.67. A balance of $1,833.33 is still owed. He held a residential license from October 5th of 2016 until October 5th of 2017 when it expired. He held a residential license he has held the current residential license from May 3rd of 2019. It was suspended for a brief period from September 15th of 2022 until October 31st of 2022 for failure to provide records. He's held his current commercial license since December 13th of 2007. It was also suspended for records from September 15th of 2022 until October 31st of 22.
What's his outstanding payments that are due?
His current balance is $1,833.33. He just set up the payment plan in December, so he is current on the payment plan.
And Mr. Porter, how do you plead to the charges, to the allegations against the company?
No contest.
Move to accept no contest. Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Penalty.
Call Joseph Anderson.
Ms. Anderson has been sworn.
Mr. Anderson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
They were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Porter, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
I have.
Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
I do not.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Porter, do you understand why?
I'm not quite finished yet. Mr. Anderson, the documents show that Mr. Porter entered into agreements with unlicensed contractors to perform HVAC work and plumbing work, and I think electrical, but I think the electrical one might have been resolved. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So it's actually HVAC and plumbing, is that correct?
That is correct.
And so that's for a total of actually $40,500 if you take out the $16,000 of electrical, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. No further questions.
Mr. Porter, do you have any questions for this witness?
I just want to state that this is the project that I was suspended for. It's a project that I built and for the purpose of selling it, and I had it listed. And I was suspended on this project, as I said, and I just, so I just want to state that.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
I just wonder, first of all, did you say that this project on Rampart is the same one that you were suspended on before?
Up in 2022.
Oh, for the records, okay.
Now we got the records.
Okay. Do you understand why you're here? Do you understand why you violated the contractor licensing
I do.
laws? Okay.
I do.
Can you tell me, just kind of briefly, what the problem is, what you're going to do?
Well, I was building, and I didn't pretty much understand at the time. You know, during that time, years ago, I didn't understand, and now I do. So,
You can't do work with unlicensed contractors?
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's
Ms.
fine.
Brown, if I may, I have sat Mr. Porter down, and I mentioned it at the last hearing, and explained to him how he needs to proceed forward. I have done investigations on him since this time, and this was a conglomerate of cases in which we had. I have sat him down, spoke with him, and done investigations where he
You
has...
didn't sit down with him
everything
before, he's been here 5 times.
right.
So these violations have come from around the same time in 2021. This is a 2021 violation, and they have had conversations with him about, hey, look, these are the things you can do and can't do as a general contractor.
Thank you for clarifying that, Mr.
Okay.
Landrino,
Thank you.
because some of us up here were thinking that he's been here on 5 separate occasions for 5 separate things.
No.
But that gives us a lot more clarity on
more
on the
perspective.
Correct. Thank you.
And Mr. Investigator, you evaluated some subsequent projects,
Yes, sir, I have.
and everything's up to par?
Yes, sir. He's doing it properly now. He's hiring the proper people, and he has been moving forward in a positive direction.
So what we're seeing is the fallout from that initial project with
Yes,
no records and whatnot? Thank you.
So based on what you've seen, his ability as a contractor is sufficient?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. All right. You got anything else you want to say? That's it?
No, sir.
Penalty.
Move to fine him $1,500 plus cost.
Joseph, second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Keep staying the course, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Osmond Funes, doing business as Master Plan Plumbing. Are any representatives present?
Renee Lane with Master Plan Plumbing Incorporated.
Can you state that again? I'm sorry. Can you state that again? Your name and your affiliation with the company, and speaking to the microphone.
The CEO.
What's the name again? What's your name again?
Master Plan Plumbing.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Renee Lane.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
This is for an individual.
Osmond Funes would have to be here.
It's the individual charge. Yeah.
Hold on, let me look one check. Hold on one second.
That's the person on their plumbing license, but that's not. You say,
Okay.
Go ahead.
reach out?
Well,
It's for an individual.
Mr. Lang, how are you involved with Master Plan Plumbing?
I'm the owner of the company, but
Who's Osmond Funes?
I don't know.
You're the owner of what company?
Master Plan Plumbing Incorporated.
Excuse me, Ms. Starks, did he do his plea already?
We haven't even gotten to
We're trying to figure out if we got the right...
I'm trying to figure out his
Do we have to
affiliation.
confirm the right address on that one? If you would?
We got DBA with a different name.
Does the investigator recognize this gentleman?
Who pulled the permit? Lang?
The GC for the project was Mr. Ford.
Don't know.
Well, who is Osmond Funes?
Osmond Funes was the person which was paid for the project. Mr. Lang is the person that pulled the plumbing permit.
Okay.
The guy that just left out of here, the porter?
I think it's all put in John.
So he was working under your license?
No, he isn't.
Well, you pulled the permit. How's that?
Yeah, because I didn't have no contract with the
We have,
owner.
are we starting the hearing? What's happening?
We need a,
Counsel, do you have any objection?
Only way I'm affiliated with this is through the permit, that's it. And when they use somebody else, they void the contract.
Oh, we have to hold tight for 1 second.
y'all hold on a second. We're trying to figure out something here about who this company is and who Mr. Lang is. To make sure that we can move forward with this. Is there a company?
We have to push this to next month.
Mr. Lang, do you hold a master plumber's license?
Yes, I do.
It's right here. Renee Lang signed for it. So it didn't ever went to Osmond Funes. Is that his address?
What's your address, Mr. Lang? What you said? Say it again. Your address.
My address? My home address is
Your business.
1716 English Street, 70118, not 70130.
Mr. Lang, did you do any work on this project?
No.
For Mr. Porter?
Nope, don't even know him. First time seeing him today.
Master plan is We're gonna pass this matter. We move to continue this matter to a later date.
Joseph moved to continue.
Second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
The next item is Dennis Contreras, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present for Dennis Contreras.
Dennis Contreras of Harvey, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform HVAC work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License at 6217 through 6219 North Rampart Street in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the amount of $13,000. This is his first appearance, and he has not applied.
Call Joseph Anderson.
Ms. Anderson has been sworn.
Mr. Anderson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensable for contractors?
They were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Anderson, according to the records, it appears that Dennis Contreras was served with notice of this hearing by hand delivery of the violation and of this hearing date. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it also shows that Dennis Contreras entered into an agreement to perform HVAC work in a commercial project in the amount of $13,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that work. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And this work was on, a shotgun house in New Orleans. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, we submit to the board that Dennis Contreras is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess necessary licensing with this board in performing air-conditioned work without a license, and ask that you find him guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Joseph moved to find a violation.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Joseph, max fine cost.
Second.
Do I have a second?
You did. Second.
Yep. Motion's, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Staff would like to request a continuance for the next item, Fabiola Zuniga.
Move to continue.
Second.
All right, Any discussion, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Williams Contractors and Construction Service LLC, are any representatives present?
Clerk, reflect that no one is present for Williams Contractors and Construction Service LLC.
Williams Contractors and Construction Service LLC of LaPlace, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into a contract with an unlicensed contractor to perform plumbing work on the Little Tokyo Restaurant Project in Metairie, Louisiana, in the amount of $21,010.08. This is their third appearance. They were here September of 2014 for not having a residential license, pled no contest, and paid $1,500. They were here September 21st of 2023 for failure to provide documents. They admitted to the violation. They were fined $1,000, and the board ordered suspension of the license if the documents were not provided within 14 days. They were provided, and the fine was paid. They held a residential license from September 19th of 2014 until January 18th of 2017, when it was revoked for failure to maintain insurance. They've held their current residential license since September 19th of 2024, and their commercial license since October 16th of 2014.
Call Joe Anderson.
Mr. Anderson has been sworn.
Mr. Anderson, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
They were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Ms. Anderson, according to the records, it appears that Williams Contractors was provided notice of its violation of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Also shows they entered into, Williams Contractors entered into an agreement for plumbing work with an unlicensed plumber. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And I think the plumber was a master plumber, and it appears that has now become licensed. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And this was on a commercial project, is that correct?
That is correct.
And the total amount of that work was $21,010.08?
That's correct.
We submit to the board that Williams Contractors and Construction Service LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws for at the time entered into a contract with an unlicensed plumber to perform plumbing work in the amount of $21,010.08. And ask that you find them guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Joseph, move to find a violation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to find the violation. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Max fine.
Second.
Cost, yeah.
We have a motion for max fine plus cost. We also have a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
TSN Limited LLC, are any representatives present?
The clerk reflect that no one is present on behalf of TSN Limited LLC.
TSN Limited LLC of Austin, Texas is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Urban Air Adventure Park project in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in the amount of $370,451.20. This is their first appearance. They have applied for commercial license on July 29th of 2024. It is pending.
Call Frank Vaughn.
Mr. Vaughn has been sworn.
Mr. Vaughn, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
According to the records, it shows that TSN Limited LLC at exhibit number 4 was provided with notice of its violation of this hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, by certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It also shows that they entered in, TSN Limited LLC entered into agreements or provided proposals to perform commercial construction work in the amount of $370,451.20. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
This was on a commercial project?
Yes, sir.
And at the time did not possess licensing with this board to perform that construction work. Is that correct?
They did not.
We submit to the board that TSN Limited LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess a license with this board in performing work on a commercial project or agreeing to perform that work in the amount of $370,451.20. Ask that you find them guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Find them guilty.
Second. I have a motion and a second for guilty. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
What, you said they're pending right now, application from July. What is the holdup on that?
I'm not sure, it just says pending review.
Pending review?
Yes.
So I didn't know if you found a problem. Because I'm inclined to vote like the rest of the board to throw the maximum fine at him but we'll reduce it if he gets his license in the next 120 days.
Is it possibly pending disposition of this case?
No, sir.
No, sir, okay, all right. All right, we'll entertain that.
All right, well, I'll say that we get maximum fine plus cost. But if you were to get the license completed and licensed properly, we'll reduce it to $10,000
Is there a certain time frame?
in that 120 days.
To 10,000 and 1,000?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion, and I think there might be a little discussion on that. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, we do have a second, all right. We have a motion and a second for its max fine plus costs, but with a potential reduction to 10,000 plus costs. To 10,000 plus costs, should he get licensed within 120 days?
Right, the one that's pending right now.
Oh, okay, and it's pending right now, so with that...
Well, I'm just trying to say that he looks like he's making an effort to be licensed.
Okay, all right, any discussion? You good? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Tabs Construction LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Tabs Construction LLC.
We have a settlement offer. Tabs Construction LLC of Marriottsville, Maryland is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Charlie's Cheesesteak and Wings project in Shreveport, Louisiana, in the amount of $201,977.70. This is their first appearance. They have not applied, but they have agreed not to do any more construction work in the state of Louisiana. They're offering a no contest plea, a $2,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call John Eatman.
Mr. Eatman has been sworn.
Mr. Eatman, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensing for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Joseph, move to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
J2 Commercial Charlie's LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of J2 Commercial Charlie's LLC.
We have a settlement offer. J2 Commercial Charlie's LLC of Austin, Texas is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Charlie's Cheesesteak and Wings project in Shreveport, Louisiana, in the amount of $201,977.70. This is their first appearance. They applied under the name J2 Commercial Development LLC on January 7th of 2025. That application is pending. They're offering a no contest plea, a $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call John Eatman.
Mr. Eatman has been sworn.
Mr. Eatman, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir, they have.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
And we submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept.
Second. We have a motion and a second to accept the settlement. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Gary Glenn Richardson, are any representatives present?
Can you say your name, please?
Gary Glenn Richardson.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand? Excuse me. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Can you speak into the microphone for me?
I do.
Thank you.
Gary Glenn Richardson of Hammond, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for permitting the contractor's license to be used by another when the other contractor does not hold a license for the classification of work for which the contract is entered on the Charlie's Cheesesteak and Wings project in Shreveport, Louisiana, in the amount of $25,000. This is his first appearance. He's held a commercial license since May 15th of 2003.
Mr. Richardson, how do you plead to the allegations?
No contest. I'd like to make an offer.
Move to accept.
Okay.
Second.
A motion and a second to accept the no contest plea. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Call John Eatman.
Mr. Eatman has been sworn.
Mr. Eatman, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business to license the board for contractors for this matter involving Gary Glenn Richardson?
Yes, sir, they were.
And was the total, we'll offer those exhibits into the record.
Mr. Richardson, have you,
Mr. Hassard, I think.
Mr. Richardson, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
Yes.
Do you have any objections to those documents being entered into the record?
No.
Thank you. Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Eatman, it appears that the total value of the HVAC work on this project was $25,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Eatman, do you want to make an offer?
Mr. Richardson,
I'm sorry, Mr. Richardson, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go forth.
$1,000 and $1,000 court costs.
Move to accept.
Second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right. We hope to not see you again, sir. Understand that.
Yeah.
Not something we take lightly.
I understand, I appreciate it. Thank you.
MP Construction and Design LLC, are any representatives present?
the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of MP Construction and Design LLC.
We have a settlement offer. MP Construction and Design LLC of Jefferson, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform HVAC work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Charlie's Cheesesteak and Wings project in Shreveport, Louisiana, in the amount of $120,000. This is their first appearance. Their member and qualifier, Ms. Nicole Mirage Goff, held a commercial license in her personal name. Now the company has obtained both commercial and residential licenses as of July 11th of 2024. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call John Eatman.
Mr. Eatman has been sworn.
Mr. Eatman, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business or licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
Move to accept.
Second.
Have a motion second to accept the settlement offer. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
The next two items, items 9 and 10, Jeremy Contractors LLC. Staff would like to request that these two items be continued.
Move to continue.
Joseph, second.
We have a motion and second for continuance. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Okay. The next item is number 11, Vetter-Built Contractors LLC. I received an email from him yesterday morning requesting a continuance because he's hunting in Kansas.
He what?
He's doing what?
He's hunting in Kansas.
When did he receive notice of this?
Who's this?
Vetter-Built.
Subpoena was issued. This case went back to
November 23rd.
What was that again?
He received service November 23rd,
Okay, and when did he give notice of,
yesterday morning.
Yesterday
After the
morning?
agenda was final.
well,
This was, the subpoena was issued back in, case went back from June, so, June the 6th.
okay. What are the wishes? He's requested a continuance.
I approve. I'll approve.
You gotta make a motion for
I'll
continuance?
make a motion for continuance.
All right, we got a motion for continuance. We have a...
Second.
Have a second? All right. Any discussion?
I got a discussion. So, we notified this gentleman back in November, and he set a hunting trip up the day of he was supposed to be here. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
All we wanted was record.
All that's on record.
No, we wanted record. That's all we wanted. He wouldn't have to come here.
That's correct. So, yeah, I have a problem with that. So, y'all can go ahead. Just wanted to make sure that was understood.
It's a request for records made in June.
All right.
Alternate motion?
I'd like to make an alternate motion.
All right, so, any more discussion? I'm sorry?
I'd just like to make an alternate motion that we maybe assess him the cost of this hearing for, failure to appear or give us a notice.
I don't know that, I get it. I would rather let's vote on the motion. If we think we need to do something differently, let's vote up or down on the motion. How about that?
Fair.
All right, so, and I'm anticipating something, so. All right, all in favor of the motion to continue, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
All right, let's do a show of hands, if you don't mind.
Have to have a vote by voice, by roll call.
Roll call? All right. So all those in favor, go ahead, roll call.
Lee Mallett?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yes, okay. William Cluett?
Nay.
Brian Bordelon?
Wait, I misunderstood.
Do you change to nay?
I'm the nay, I just
Okay.
spoke back in.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian Bordelon?
Nay.
Noah Broussard?
Nay.
Kristen Brown?
Nay.
Kim DeGiovanni?
Nay.
Courtney Finay?
Nay.
David Ellsworth. Adam Gwynn?
Nay.
Curtis Joseph?
Nay.
Donald Lambert?
Nay.
Garland Meredith?
Nay.
Christopher Stewart?
Yes.
Elliot Temple?
Nay.
And that's everyone. We have one yes, and the rest are nay.
So the motion fails.
Mr. John.
Just got to be clear.
She said nay.
So with that, the motion fails.
So read it out.
All right, go for it.
Okay.
Anybody want to offer an alternate motion? So, I'm sorry. No, we got to read the charge. Yeah, we'll proceed with the hearing. Yeah.
Better Built Contractors LLC of Denham Springs, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for failure to maintain adequate records and provide such to the board within 72 hours for the Prairieville High School project in Prairieville, Louisiana. This is their first appearance. They've held a home improvement registration since March 18th of 2021. They applied for a commercial license on November 1st of 2023. That file was written off. They applied for another commercial license on October 14th of 2024. That file was written off. They applied for a residential license August 14th of 2024. It's pending exam.
Call Clay Rivas.
Mr. Rivas has been sworn.
Mr. Rivas, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business to license the board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Rivas, according to the documents, it appears that you've requested records from Better Built Contractors LLC with reference to a particular project in the Prairieville High School. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And your letter was sent and hand-delivered or posted on their door requesting the records on June 5th of 2024. Is that correct?
June 6th.
June 6th of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And since then, have you received the records?
No, sir, I have not.
And we submitted a notice of the violation and of this hearing date by certified mail to Better Built Contractors LLC. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And at Exhibit 4, if we look at page 18 and 19, it shows that Better Built Contractors LLC received notice of this hearing and of its violation by certified mail. Is that correct? On November 23rd of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And again, still have not provided documents since that date as requested. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
We submit to the board that Better Built Contractors LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors licensing laws for failure to provide records when requested within 72 hours as provided by statute. We ask that you find them guilty of that violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs. And in this case, what we would suggest to the board is that we provide them with notice to provide the records. And if they're not provided within, I would say, we have to get them a letter.
How long is this hunting trip?
Okay, they are licensed, so we can email it to them. So we say within 10 business days that their license be suspended until they provide records satisfactory to the board. And issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Joseph, move to find the violation.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Joseph, I'll make the motion as articulated by council.
And that would be
He has
10 days?
10 days.
10 business days to produce the records, and if not, their license be suspended until they produce satisfactory records to the board.
Yeah, plus the cost of the administrative hearing.
Got a motion?
How long has he had?
Since June.
So he decides to...
No, sir. Mr. Chair, may I?
They requested the records.
Mr. Hass.
Serve a notice of this hearing.
Mr. Hass has got the floor.
While I recognize you gentlemen and ladies have made a motion there, it's perfectly acceptable. I just want to clarify a few points that I think Mr. Temple and Mr. Cluel were trying to get at. The original request had been received in, I believe, Mr. Rivas said, June. Yes, sir. He worked through that numerous attempts until it got to the point where we cited him for said violation that he was noticed of in November. This is now January. We still have no records. He is aware of the hearing in November. He notified staff yesterday morning that he is hunting, which certainly is his prerogative, and I'm certain that if he would have asked for a continuance prior to yesterday morning, you may feel differently. Another 10 days, he's had 7 months. If you guys are okay with it, I'm okay with it. I just wanted you to understand my position on that. Thank you.
Hey, Brad, he called and said he was going hunting, he didn't ask for a continuance?
From what I understand from what Ms. Evans read into the record, he asked for a continuance yesterday morning advising he was out of town in Kansas. Is that correct, Ms. Evans?
I can clarify. He actually called Monday and spoke to staff, and he was advised that he needed to request a continuance by emailing me, and he did not email me until 9:55 yesterday morning.
Yeah. Thank you. So I have no problem with the motion as articulated. So his license is suspended. He has 10 days to produce.
Or suspended.
Or suspended, right.
Plus
the administrative hearing costs.
Got a motion, need a second.
It's 10 days.
Is he suspended?
No.
Motion and second, all in favor? Any opposed, motion carried. We have Mr.
Fournette.
Opposed?
Just one?
Yeah, I think so. Anybody else opposed other than Mr. Fournette? No.
The ayes have it.
Mr. Hassett.
Mr. Hassett opposed?
We ready for the next item?
Yes. All right, next case.
All right. SJ Construction Services LLC, or any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of SJ Construction Services LLC.
SJ Construction Services LLC of Graceland, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for entering into contracts with unlicensed contractors to perform work on the M&L Engine Warehouse Project in Shriver, Louisiana, in the amount of $112,875. This is their first appearance. They've held a commercial license since July of 2017 and a home improvement registration since September of 2012.
Call Laura LaRose.
Mr. Rose has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business to license the board of contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 admitted.
Ms. LaRose, according to exhibit number 4, it appears that SJ Construction was provided with notice of its violation and of this hearing by certified mail. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And it also shows that they entered into contract with 2 unlicensed contractors for a total amount of $112,875. Is that correct?
That's correct.
We submit to the board that SJ Construction Services LLC is in violation of Louisiana contractors' licensing laws for entering into the contract with 2 unlicensed contractors to perform construction work in the amount of $112,875. We ask that you find them guilty of the violation, issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Joseph, move to find a violation.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Max fine plus,
Oh, wait, penalty.
yeah, max fine plus cost.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, next case.
Ramirez Construction Service LLC, are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of Ramirez Construction Service LLC.
Ramirez Construction Service LLC of Thibodaux, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the M&L Engine Warehouse Project in Shriver, Louisiana, in the amount of $74,375. This is their second appearance. They were here April 20th of 2022 for not having a residential license and paid a $2,000 fine. They held a home improvement registration from May 19th of 2016 until May 19th of 2017 when it expired. Another home improvement registration from September 24th of 2018 until September 24th of 2019 when it expired. Another home improvement registration from January 6th of 2020 until January 6th of 2021 when it expired. They held a residential license from March 24th of 2020 until March 24th of 2024 when it expired. They've held their current home improvement registration since August 28th of 2024 and has not applied for a commercial license.
Call Lori LaRose.
Ms. LaRose has been sworn.
Ms. LaRose, in front of you are exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 admitted.
According to the records, it appears that Exhibit 4, when Whereas Construction Service LLC was provided with notice of this hearing and of its violation by certified mail. Is that correct?
That's correct.
It also shows in the exhibits that Ramirez Construction Service performed concrete work on a commercial construction project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the total was $74,375. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And did not possess licensing with this board to perform a commercial construction project. Is that correct?
That's correct.
We submit to the board that Ramirez Construction Service LLC is in violation using contractors' licensing laws for failure to possess a commercial contractor's license or to perform work on a commercial project in the amount of $74,375. I ask that you find them guilty of the violation and issue the appropriate fines and costs.
Move to find him guilty.
Second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Move to find him max plus cost.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Statutory citations.
All citations have been paid.
Okay, we need to, again, we have to enter these into the record because sometimes these people don't pay the citations and they have to get enforced. So we'd like to call Sean Beavers. Mr. Beavers, we're going to look at LeBeau Plumbing LLC, the exhibit pack of LeBeau Plumbing LLC, and that's both cases 30402 and 33302. Morsiglia Construction Company LLC, API Flooring Services, Inc., Felder Heating and Cooling LLC, Deham Foundations LLC, Go Green Construction, Inc., Service Plus Contracting LLC, and J&O Construction LLC. Well, all of those records and exhibits prepared in the ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors. We'll offer those exhibits into the record.
All exhibits for LeBeau Plumbing LLC, in both matters, I don't know how to pronounce, Marsa, yep, that one, Construction Company LLC, API Flooring Services, Inc., Felder Heating and Cooling LLC, Deham Foundations LLC, Go Green Construction, Inc., Retail, Service Plus Contracting LLC, and J&O Construction LLC. All exhibits are admitted.
Go to the next. Under F, requests for rehearing, the first item is Ryan Dave Gafford, or any representatives present?
Can you state your name, please?
Ryan Dave Gafford.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Thank you.
Ryan Dave Gafford of Diamond Springs, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor.
Mr. Gafford is here for a rehearing. The board has to make a decision as to whether or not they'll rehear the case.
Move to rehear.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
All right, motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's have this.
Okay, we would like to, in the future, just kind of hear about why you weren't here to start with. Yeah.
Why are you asking for rehearing?
Well,
I'm hard of hearing, so.
was he a no-show the first time?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
And
sir.
what was your reason?
And what was your reason?
I was unaware of like when I went through all this and they said I was going to have to appear, and I said, I didn't know a date or anything. I came to get my license and thought that was going to clear it up. That's kind of the understanding I had. When I found out that wasn't the truth, or wasn't, what was going to happen, I needed to appear. I never got a court notice because I wasn't at that address. So I just missed it. I mean, it's my fault, whatever. I'm here today because when I talked to Miss Leanne, she said we can reschedule, that's all we can do. And I did the best, best I could to be here today. I mean, I left work to come here. When I leave here, I'm going back to work.
Yeah, look, so the purpose of the rehearing, your purpose is to try to lower the fine? Is that why you want?
Yes, sir. I mean, the contractor, general contractor that had the, that I did the work for, I did the labor only. I wasn't aware at the time, I am now, that, I was wrong. I needed a license.
He's testifying as to the substance, so do y'all want to make a decision on the motion?
Counselor?
Did y'all make a decision on the hearing already?
Yeah, we did, we already did.
Okay, then we're going to go ahead and proceed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ryan Dave Gafford of Gentleman Springs, Louisiana, is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the commercial shell building project in Greenville Springs, Louisiana, in the amount of $64,809.73. This is his first appearance. He held a residential license from February 1st of 2019 until February 1st of 2022 when it expired. He applied for a commercial license on May 13th of 2024. It is pending exam and financial statement.
We need a plea.
Mr. Gafford, how do you plead to the allegations?
No contest.
Okay.
Motion to accept?
Second.
Got a motion and a second on no contest.
Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Call Logan Cockerham.
Mr. Cockerham has been sworn.
Mr. Cockerham, in front of you, you have exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Mr. Gafford, have you had an opportunity to review those documents?
Yes, I have.
Do you have any objections to those documents being entered into the record?
I do not.
Okay. Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Mr. Cockerham, it appears that from the records that Mr. Gafford performed construction work on a commercial project and was paid, what I can see here is $16,188. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And he was doing, it appears to be concrete work. Is that correct?
That is... Yes.
And then the total charge that came out to $64,809.73 included material that was used in his performance of his work. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Have no further questions.
Mr. Gafford, do you have any questions for this witness?
My only concern is moving forward.
Any questions?
Oh. No, I guess not.
Okay.
I mean,
I have no further witnesses.
Okay. Mr. Gafford, would you like to make a offer to the board as to the penalty? Or would the board prefer to hear an explanation?
If you want to make an offer first, you can. It's up to you.
my offer would be, I've already applied for the license and paid for it. It was like $480 or something. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna follow through with that because I don't do commercial work. I was just, hired as someone that knew my brother.
It doesn't sound like you want to make an offer, so.
I can't make a statement.
Go ahead, make your statement.
Yeah. Can you explain how you got here?
The fees that I've already paid just for that, $480, and to pay the cost of $1,000.
I guess the question is, offer a statement to how you ended up in a position where you got engaged in a violation? I mean,
Yes, sir, I'm not disputing the violation. I now understand the labor only, and when it goes above that, I'm just not sure how I was supposed to know what the contractor paid for everything. Like, at what point does it, I don't know, even moving forward, do I ask or?
The staff will help you with that.
Yeah.
Right, I've already talked to him about it, but I don't do commercial work.
What's your intentions moving forward? What are you going to do?
I do residential work. I'm a residential laborer. I do concrete finishing.
Do you have a license? You don't have a license?
We're not required to have a license for that, but after discussing him outside, I'm probably just going to get one to be covered, just in case.
Okay.
Good.
Did he make an offer? It sounded like he did.
He said, all
money that's already been paid.
No, he had, I thought he said 1,000 plus what he paid.
plus costs, yeah.
1,000 plus calls is what they offer?
Well, no,
He hasn't offered that. He hasn't offered 1,000 plus costs.
Might get accepted if he offered that.
Well, obviously, let me restate, I believe what you said. You said for all the fees that you paid, and that was the licensing fees that you've already paid, right? That's to be application fees.
Well, I didn't acquire a license, I just applied for it and paid the fee in advance.
All right.
Thinking that's because under my understanding, that's what I needed to do, but after a year, it's come to light that wasn't what I needed to do. But I've already paid that $480, but I'm willing to pay the cost too, because I'm costing me all the time.
Well, I tell you, if you were sending that application, I'm assuming that would be, is there any refunding there? What's the, no?
They don't get a refund.
Okay, all right. So with that being said, the offer is fees paid plus the cost is what he's offering.
I was going to counter, you might accept it if we go 1,000 plus 1,000.
I didn't hear.
1,000 plus 1,000, what he said.
Yeah, 2,000.
Are we making a motion?
I mean, I'm at your mercy.
I make the motion that we.
I've held a license, like I've been a resident here, I've been a contractor.
Hold on. Just wait, one at a time. Mr. Lambert?
He says the motion's on the floor right now.
There's not a motion on the floor. He's
There's no
also-
motion.
His fees like $1,000, which is $400 something plus.
But I think we got somebody ready to make a motion.
Okay.
I'm moving to make a motion.
Circumstance, I think it would be fair to take his offer.
Are you making, is that a motion? Are you making a motion?
Yeah, that's a motion if I was explaining.
Well, his offer is, well, then you're making a motion, we'll vote on your motion.
Okay.
I can make another offer.
Hold on, you want to let him make an offer, Mr. Lambert?
Yeah.
Go
My
ahead.
offer would be 0 fee and pay $1,000 cost. That
We
would
don't have that anymore.
I say under the circumstances, I would move to accept.
Now, we got the same thing, yeah. Give me a second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Question, Mr. Chair. Where does that leave him with his money that he's paid? Is he getting a
You don't get it back?
labor-only license?
No, he'll get it back, he'll get it back. The $400 he paid? He'll get it back.
Well, my question is he getting a labor-only license for the fee that he paid on the application?
I think he's not, are you going to get it all right?
He's got a labor on.
He got a labor.
No, Mr.
He applied for a commercial
He
license.
applied for a commercial license.
And back in April, back in May.
But now he's not getting any. He doesn't want to.
He's just a labor only.
Okay.
So the fees he paid are absorbed and it's gone. So it's the equivalent of the same offer.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, so the other thing, we can tell Mr. Gafford that if he wants to get a license, he can get a labor-only license and do all the concrete work he wants as a labor-only license.
Yeah. Staff will help him out with
Next
that.
case. Next case.
The next item is Modern Views Landscaping LLC. Are any representatives present?
If they're reflecting, no one is present on behalf of Modern Views Landscaping LLC.
Ms. Evans, you had communication with Modern Views Landscaping LLC about this rehearing.
Yes, sir.
You provided a notice by email, it appears, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We submit that the rehearing be denied.
So moved.
Second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next case.
South Atlanta Steel LLC. Are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present for South Atlanta Steel LLC.
We have a settlement offer for this one, if the board's willing to hear it.
Yes.
We need a motion for rehearing.
Motion to, rehear?
Second. Well, motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We have 3 of them?
South Atlanta Steel LLC of Stockbridge, Georgia is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Waffle House 73927 project in New Iberia, Louisiana, in the amount of $71,248.10. This is their first appearance. They have not applied yet, but indicated they would if they do any further work in Louisiana. They're offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, and $1,000 cost.
Call Logan Cockerham.
Mr. Cockerham has been sworn.
Mr. Cockerham, in front of you, exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business to license the board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, sir.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Submit the settlement offer for consideration.
I move to accept.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
3M Painting and Renovations LLC. Are any representatives present?
Let the record reflect that no one is present on behalf of 3M Painting and Renovations LLC.
We also have a settlement offer for this one, if you're willing to hear it.
Motion to rehear?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
3M Painting and Renovations LLC of Metairie, Louisiana is before you today for consideration of an alleged violation for acting as a contractor to perform work without possessing a Louisiana State Contractor's License on the Hidden Point Apartments project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $68,000. He appeared yesterday thinking that his hearing date was yesterday. He advised that he did not receive the original notice of hearing because it was delivered to an address that he has not lived at in quite some time. This is his first appearance. He held a a home improvement registration from December 29th of 2017 until December 29th of 2018 when it expired, a commercial license from December 21st of 2017 until December 21st of 2020 when it expired. He obtained a commercial license in the name 3M Renovations LLC on October 22nd of 2024. It is active. It's offering a no contest plea, $1,000 fine, $1,000 cost.
Call Logan Cockerham.
Mr. Cockerham has been sworn.
Mr. Cockerham, find the exhibits number 1, 2, 3, and 4, were they prepared in the regular ordinary course of business of the licensing board for contractors for this matter?
Yes, they were.
We'll offer the exhibits into the record.
Exhibits 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted.
Submit settlement offer for consideration.
Okay, I move to accept.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Reports. Board Law. Treasurer.
Yeah, so December financials were emailed to the board earlier this week. Show revenues minus expenses in excess of $500,000, and I would like to make a motion to accept the December financials as emailed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept financials. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
I have another motion I'd like to make to accept the 2024 Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for Audit Engagements of Government Entities as typed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All opposed? Motion carries. All righty. Staff report, is that it?
Yes.
We'll wait for the resolutions. All right. Ms. Leger, is she in? Any additional staff reports, Mr. Hassert?
There are no more. Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
All righty, let's move to the board resolutions, the board business there.
So for the resolutions, do I read all of these at once? Do we need to do them individually?
I would like to do them individually.
Do them individually, and you can summarize.
I don't believe you need to read them in their entirety, just a summarization as such.
And if the board has any questions about it, feel free to ask Mr. Hassert here to talk about those on the resolution for AG's hearing.
Okay, so I'd like to present to the board Resolution 2025-01, which is a resolution authorizing an update to all fees assessed by and associated with the board activities as enumerated in LARS 372156.
Would you mind giving a quick summary?
I would love to give a quick summary.
Yeah, please do.
Ladies and gentlemen, statutorily, this agency is allowed to collect very specific things. If we collected only those funds, we bring in about $645,000 a year. I think you're all aware that our budget is a little bit more than that. Statutorily, further, we are mandated to be self-funded, and we are also authorized to, by board action through resolution, to add or to assess different fees for different actions of the board that are reasonable and necessary to effectuate our processes. With the exception of two fees in there that I will address very quickly in a moment, all these fees have been collected for some period of time. They just have never been memorialized. I'm much more comfortable with things being done within the four corners of the law. I would like you to move forward as we have been doing, just essentially giving us authority to do that. There are two new fees that have been added this year. One is going to be effective today, and that is the Occupational Licensing Review Program fee that we voted in last month under emergency meeting. That is a $3 per license, $3 per renewal fee. That exactly matches our cost that we have to pay the AG's office. Further, there is a fee that is titled background renewal per se. Statutorily, we've been mandated to do renewals of, further background investigation upon a renewal license of an active licensee. Hasn't always necessarily be done. They're done now. And I think that we should charge for that because it's an expensive process.
Can you also make mention about the numbers of background checks for larger contractors?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Initially, when a license application is made, we have been charging a fee for a background investigation. We have changed our process slightly on that, where the example that I can give you most likely off the top of my head is one-member LLC, where there's one member, we charge a single background fee of $40. Big Company, Inc., that has 7 principals and 10 qualifiers, we've, in the past, have charged $40. It's a little unequitable, I believe. We have asked that, our internal process is intending to be that we charge $40 per, up to maximum of 5. And the 5 number comes from it's kind of correlating to the statutory process where we only charge for 5 classifications, even if you have 20. So I think there's just got to be a limit. And that's what we're looking for with that.
So we have a motion, I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, next.
Okay. Next resolution, 2025-02, is a resolution authorizing the executive director or his designee to retain and employ Taylor Porter Brooks and Phillips LLC for all employment law matters.
If I could address that real quick, ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Porter has been our counsel of record for employment matters for as long as I can recall. We're just renewing that contract, and there's... Maybe not, but we'll be all right. I'm sorry. We've employed Taylor Porter for a number of years. They have been our counsel of record for employment-related issues that go past the scope of what we feel comfortable handling internally. We have very rarely utilized them whatsoever. We never get near that dollar figure. Today could be the day that changes, but I don't think so.
All right, second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next one.
Next, 2025-03 is a resolution authorizing the executive director or his designee to enter into a contract with PSI LLC for examination services.
As we talked about in the past, we've been exploring the potential of going to an outside testing source. We're still exploring such. We're really close to wrapping that up. We're just trying to get y'all's final approval, and I think we've talked through that quite a lot already. We're not ready to sign that contract today, but we might be tomorrow, and I know time is of the essence of everything that we do, which y'all's wishes are, so we're just hoping not to have to wait for a future board meeting.
And certainly I appreciate all the due diligence that's been done by staff to do that, and long-term, it's better not only for the staff, but our contractors as well, for portability of licensure and stuff like that, so.
Second motion.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, next.
Resolution 2025-04 is a resolution authorizing the executive director or his designee to retain the services of the Louisiana Department of Justice to provide services as hearing officer.
That is essentially renewal of Ms. Stark's contract. If y'all don't like her, this is the time to deny that.
I refuse to testify. All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Oh, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. All right.
And last but not least, 2025-05, a resolution recognizing and in appreciation of Mr. Donald Lambert, member of the Board of Directors since 1973, 52 years, on the occasion of his 90th birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. And everybody seconds. All right, everybody. Show of hands. All right.
What happens if you vote against it?
Certainly, Mr. Donald, again, we appreciate your service for so long, and, we admire your stamina for being with us for this long. I hope to not be in your position and be here that long. I hope to just be alive that long, but my family history. But again, we recognize yours as well as others that have come before you, and certainly been the forerunners in the forefront,
Did anybody come before him?
Yeah.
Not many.
Yeah.
Many
So with that,
Okay, it has been an honor all these years, and to get reinstated this last time was very nice, and I appreciate everybody's consent to do it. I know that people think this fella's getting pretty old, and I know I am, but I feel good and I'm thinking good, and if I didn't think I could perform properly, I would resign after.
Mr. Lambert, we're all appreciative of your time and your efforts, and your contribution is noted and appreciated.
Honoring me and the governors that, a lot of governors.
Yeah.
A lot of governors, yeah.
All right, thank you, sir, again. All right, let's move on to applications, classifications, reciprocity. All right, let's see, residential, Mr. Temple.
All right. Additional classifications. If you look on page 7, I make a motion that the additional classification be met pending the residential license is listed attached to the agenda be approved pending all requirements being met for BCS Builders LLC.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Residential applications. I make a motion that the applications for residential licensure as listed and attached to the agenda be approved pending all requirements being met, beginning with 3N1 Solutions LLC and ending with Zoe's Home Improvement LLC, and those are on pages 8 through 13.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
All right, if you look on pages 14 through 18 for home improvement applications, I make a motion that the applications for home improvement registrations as listed and attached to the agenda be approved pending all requirements being met, beginning with 3 Bowl Holdings LLC and ending with your Air Pro LLC.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Residential action, I make a motion to accept and ratify the actions of the January 15th, 2025 Residential Building Contractors Subcommittee. I so move.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right. All right, reciprocity exemption request, Mr. Tillage.
He's not here.
Oh, let's see. Can somebody else read it? Who's got the, do we have the, it's all right. If you don't mind grabbing that for us? Yeah.
Well, I can read it if somebody was making a motion.
Yeah, there you go. That's fine.
Based upon the committee recommendations, if someone would make a motion that the exemptions based on reciprocity as listed and attached to the agenda be approved, beginning with James Christopher Allred and ending with Michael Shane Zumbo on pages 19 or 20.
Joseph, so moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Based upon committee recommendations, I make a motion that applications for exemption from based upon recommendations the committee has made, if someone would make a motion that the applications for exemption from exam as listed and attached to the agenda be approved, beginning with August Frank Adamatis and ending with Terrace Renard Williams.
Joseph, so moved.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Mold?
Mold. I'll make a motion that the applications for mold remediation as listed and attached to the agenda be approved pending all requirements being met. Beginning with Alpha Abatement LLC and ending with David William Rittner Jr. Be approved today on page 22.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Additional classification, I'll make a motion that the additional classifications for being added to a commercial license as listed and attached to the agenda be approved pending all requirements being met, beginning with 3M Renovations LLC and ending with York Bridge Concepts Incorporated on pages 23 through 27.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And lastly, commercial applications before the board. I make a motion that the application for commercial license as listed and attached to the agenda be approved, providing all requirements being met, beginning with one clear, well, I guess that's one clear choice, Heat and Air LLC, and ending with Zimmerfloor Incorporated, pages 28 through 44.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I think go ahead.
I just want to point out something. I'm looking at all these things, and I'll just get this on record. I don't know if we realize that, but this happens every month, but this is 25 to 27 pages of applications that this staff processes. And, you know, these are the ones that are approved. These are not the ones that are either not approved or just doesn't meet, whatever. It's a process of, you know, so the point is the workload that this staff handles is amazing on the applications on a monthly basis and all the things that we do. So I just want to recognize the staff.
Is that a motion to give them a 10% bonus this year?
It's nice weather out, isn't it?
Mr. Clutch, seriously, before we move on though, is there a chance that we could perhaps get a picture of Mr. Lambert and the group?
Yeah, do you want to do it after we take care of the new business?
Whatever you would like to do. I just did not want that to be missed.
Let's take care of new business.
Absolutely. Is new business me?
That's you.
I didn't know if y'all had anything else.
You can start with the vehicles.
Yeah, let's start out the gate. We want money. With the surplus funds that we generated last year, which were a little bit higher than anticipated, we have had some discussion over time about the effectiveness of our travel process for the investigative staff. We had a small discussion this morning. I think there are some questions that were raised that were very fair questions, Ms. DiGiovanni. Thank you for those. But overall, we believe, if you just look at the math, it's much more effective and cost-effective for this agency to own vehicles than to follow the state mandatory guidelines of rental cars. A rental car costs us in the neighborhood of $950 a month per investigator. So let's just do it one time, and bear in mind there's 20-plus investigators. We can purchase a vehicle for about $47,000 under state contract, which is a vehicle that typically stickers for $55,000 to $56,000. At the end of, say, 4 years, let's just call it that, we spent roughly the same as we would for rental car, and we can flip that vehicle around and we retain the sales price of that vehicle because we are not on state budget. If we are on state budget, the vehicle sales price would come from, of course, general fund money, and that money would be returned to general fund. We purchase a vehicle with our funds, our self-generated funds. Say we spend $50,000 on a vehicle, you probably are going to get, based upon current market pricing and evaluation, we look to get $25,000 to $27,000 back on our $47,000 purchase. It brings our travel expense in half per month. If I can just get ahead of some of the questions, I may not get them all. Why don't we lease them? Because it costs me the same, because I'm mandated to use state pricing and state contracts. Why don't we lease them or rent them to own? Because it's forbidden by state statute. Should we consider the insurance costs? We should, and we have. It's about $10 additional per month. Why don't we look at a maybe more fuel-efficient vehicle? Because they all as big as me, and they drive on construction sites. That's sometimes challenging in a Toyota Corolla. I guess the other thing that it came down to truly is it's an efficiency issue that we've discussed for some period of time. Every month when we rent a vehicle, I lose an investigator for almost a whole day. They're supposed to take the vehicle back to the Enterprise location, and no, I have no choice but to rent from Enterprise. It is mandated by state. They have to drive themselves over there, wait for one of them people to come out and look and say, yep, that's the same vehicle, check the mileage, roll them on, or say, we got to take this vehicle back, we're going to give you something else. It's just, I mean, it's truly an efficiency issue. I lose that guy, girl, for a whole day, every single month, just swapping out a stupid car. If we were to maintain our own fleet and we don't let it get too far into the high miles and maintenance area, they drive through, they get an oil change, $30, $40. They get a brake sticker every year. We gotta buy some tires. It's just a tremendous cost savings, let alone an efficiency issue. Is there anything that y'all want to ask me about that before I give my big ask?
So,
What kind of vehicle are you talking about?
An F-150, an XL, the base model truck. There's not King Ranches, there's not Platinums, there's no leather, there's no sunroofs, none of that.
Have you thought about the idea of this, and I'm not saying
I understand.
anything negative.
It's a question.
But putting a GPS on it.
They are GPS.
Yeah, they are.
Every state vehicle, and see, that's another issue that I did not mention, Mr., and I'm glad you brought it up. Every vehicle owned by the state is GPS. I will tell you, it is painstakingly accurate and tattletaling.
Yeah.
Trust me. Rental cars, on the other hand, don't have GPS, so I can't track them. So all them that are running around in rental cars that we're paying for, I don't know where they are. I have no idea where they are.
That's enough to do.
yeah, so,
And to purchase this fleet, you need the money up front.
Well, we have to pay for the vehicle to be
Pay for
ordered,
it
yes.
up,
And-
in total.
And when I'm asking for a fleet, Ms. Brown, understand that over time, we've been buying twosies, two here, two there, two there. So I think we have 6 currently, 8, 4? No, we have 4 currently and then 2 that were purchased last year that we're still waiting on. It takes a little while.
and you're looking for how many of them? 3 or 4?
Eventually, I'd like to get all of them. My ask right now, I know I may have mentioned 6, or 4, but I'm going to stretch it to 6 and see where I end up. They run a roughly $50,000 apiece. The funds are available. The whole goal at this point is, it is an initial investment up front. I do not disagree with that. But the effective portion of it is a 50% cost over time. It would take us a couple years to realize the true cost savings of such.
A couple as in 2, or a few?
No,
Couple of years?
Yeah.
I'm hoping 2 more years, we will be out of the initial cost, and then we can start flipping some of our vehicles back in, taking the proceeds from those, and essentially half of what we would spend now. I think it's going to cut your cost roughly in half.
I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
I appreciate your confidence in it.
I believe in you, I know where you're going.
I would like to make a motion that we authorize both the staff with after the review of the Finance Committee to proceed with the acquisition of 6 vehicles.
Second. I got a motion in 2 seconds. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Shake your head and clap.
Second.
Second, new business. Would you like to address that, Mr. Mallett, or you want me to fire off?
Yeah.
All right. Some of you may be aware, most of you probably are not, there have been some secret negotiations moving in the background that got to the point where we need to bring it to the board's attention. There has been some discussion for about 8 months.
I don't know about secret.
How about limited?
Yeah, there's been some negotiations.
There's been some negotiations. Not all of you knew about it.
Yeah.
How's that? There have been some negotiations and some conversation between the Fire Marshal's Office, which manages and oversees the Louisiana State Uniform Construction Code Council, LSUC, for other words, in the same manner as y'all manage and oversee our residential committee. They don't feel as if the Code Council is a great fit for them. They don't feel like that they're very effective at that, and they feel like this board would be a much better place for them to reside and be governed as far as the 2 basic components of the Code Council. One of those would be the writing of code. I thought initially that there was a whole lot of witchcraft involved in that, and I didn't think we had really the expertise or staff to do it. Further investigation and conversation has realized that we've been bamboozled over the years, and what really happens is they adopt a code that has been written by a proprietary corporation, IBC, ICC, IKK, whatever it's called, and they make small modifications as such and propose it in the legislature. I think we're more than capable of copy and pasting. I truly do. The other portion of that, which I think all of you have recognized as being somewhat of a challenge, is your permitting office processes and your building official processes and the inspection processes that may or may not happen. I've often said publicly that if the permit offices would be much more effective at doing their jobs and issuing permits and doing inspections, the enforcement staff is not needed. That we're We're the second catch. The first catch is permitting inspections.
First line of defense.
Where they
Yeah.
miss, we're supposed to catch it all. The issue there is, there's 64 parishes, 200-something municipalities that do permitting. They see everything. There's 20 of Sean, and they can't. We thought that really is going to be a simple thing, and I think it still is in the operations of such. If you look at the different type of building officials, whether it's a chief building official or an electrical inspector, a framing inspector, whatsoever, they're classifications. We classify licenses every day. We think that we can manage that very well. It's simply a matter of getting them licensed and/or registered, whichever word you'd like to use, and maintaining that registration and maintaining the fitness of that individual to do such. There are some challenges with the system that are in place now, that y'all have heard the stories and read the newspapers about building officials or inspectors who have been convicted, either state or federally, or even just terminated employment for issues related to corruption of their public performance.
Some of which actually held contractor licenses.
They did, and some of them still do, and some of them were supposed to be here today to finalize that process, but it has been continued. That individual is actually suspended currently. Anyway, we can handle the discipline of these folks. We handle the discipline of the contractors. This is going to be an exact fall-in fit, just adding some people to our roles. That's the process that we were going through. We had initially talked about that, and when I say it, maybe secretive wasn't a good word as I think about it, Mr. Collette. The small discussion part of it was we thought we had a lot more time to prepare that. Our initial thing was to work through it this calendar year and run a bill next year to take it in-house. The timetable has significantly increased where I'm under the impression that there will be a bill this session to make that happen probably by the end of the year. We're prepared to do that, and I'm here for whatever questions you have.
So
bear in mind, I don't know a whole lot about it yet.
I can tell you that we've been working on this, not secretly working on it. But we will ultimately be able to really change this state with these permit offices and these investigators. The insurance commissioner is 100% on board with this. He believes that this is something he needs as a tool with insurance companies, that now, finally, somebody's going to make sure all these construction projects are being done properly, but no playing around with the investigator or the politics of what goes on in the permit offices. But we're getting ready to really have the power to really change this state. This board is going to be something to, something. I'm telling you, this is unbelievable that we're going to get this. And he approached us.
Yeah,
that's true.
Part of the realignment.
He came to us and said, we need some help, we can't handle it. And I think it's right up our alley.
So Brad, are you asking, and Lee, are y'all asking to take over the permitting process and the administration of the inspectors themselves, or just the discipline of them? We're
everything.
We're actually going to be controlling.
We can, and I think one of the challenges that we want to work on is in Louisiana, the 64 parishes, there's no consistency.
It's not uniform, yeah.
There's no uniformity in the permit office. They're all different, and I think we have the ability to straighten a lot of that out. The investigative side, that's going to be easy. But now the permit also have some oversight, where they can't just start playing games like they're doing, because it's a mess out there.
But I guess for us, is right now, just for everyone's benefit, as I understand it, the inspectors, it's basically a certification, but it's you pay for an application and your process for the most part.
Pretty much.
Where we have qualifications and those things for contractors, we'll treat those inspectors much like a contractor. You either meet the qualifications or you don't. And if you violate any of the terms of those things, there's punitive damage. I think up to this point, there's not been any punitive assessment to any inspector.
It appears that there hasn't been any disciplinary action taken against anyone who's a certificate holder, if you will, in 2 decades.
In 2 decades. Those that have been actually convicted and otherwise, and may actually be in jail.
And I can mention one name publicly, because it's past that point, it's public record, Mr. James Muhammad, who was convicted of various acts related to corruption that related to his position as the chief building inspector in Kenner. who did serve federal time and is now out on supervised release, is still on the rolls as a active building
So as I understand in our conversations, the code council would now become another committee underneath us.
That is my intent and belief. That is the best way to move forward, though it's absolutely open to discussion at this point.
So the corollary would be, like you said earlier, our residential subcommittee?
It would be you, the residential side, and the code side.
Okay. So are you asking us for a decision today? Are you broaching this issue with us?
I think I'm
today?
broaching the issue for you and trying to inform you so we can have some meaningful discussion rapidly about this.
The fire marshal's moving forward.
I think
Ball is already rolling.
I think the governor and other administrative staff are pushing us in this our direction, and we're being asked to accept it. I think.
They'll change the law and make us follow the law.
And so it's clear, this is a statutory decision that's going to go before the legislature. We really don't have to vote on anything here. This is something that the legislature is going to decide whether we have that role, and that's just something, I think Brad is advising you, that's a process that could occur during the coming session.
Okay.
We just want y'all to be informed of what was possibly coming, and I think it's going to pass.
Ms. Brown, I'd like to clarify the answer to your question, because I still see the quizzical look, and I'd like to further what Kevin said first. I'm very clear on my directions of that we will have a bill, okay? So I'm just kind of letting everybody know, and Mr. Mallett has been instrumental in this as well. We're trying to move forward to keep everybody abreast. Your question about how we handle a permit office, we will not handle the operations of the office. What we will do is we will be able to regulate and control the chief building official and its inspectors and the processes. How the parish or the city tells them to operate, we don't care. That's on them.
So they're not our employees?
Oh, no.
I thought we were taking over.
No,
65.
I don't want any more.
Okay.
And we're probably going to have to add some, and we're going to work through that legislatively. But, and there's been some concern, because most building officials or inspectors, with the exception of third party, and I don't even want to go down that road, we know the problems there, and we can discuss that moving forward. I think we have some plans in place to correct that problem as well, is most of those guys and girls are a civil service employee through municipal government. We are never going to try to affect their job position. However, their job position is requisite,
Contingent.
They continued, what was your word?
Contingent.
Contingent upon them holding the proper certifications. If you hold the certification, you're good. If you guys sanction that certification, that's between them and their employer. That's like the UPS driver that gets his third DWI, you probably can't drive for UPS anymore. You know, and those are two separate actions. We're not trying to fire anybody. We're just trying to make sure you stay within the confines of what your registration or your certificate allows.
It's part of a realignment process, and, more.
Once we have the investigators, which we now will be done properly, that's part of the problem.
Correct.
The code is what the permit officer is supposed to follow. And they better follow the code, and we'll have the investigator make sure they're following the code. And that's going to help us with the insurance company.
Inspectors.
Yes. And part of it, just to expand on Mr. Mallett's comment, is
You said it's all coming out from the governor's office?
the insurance companies have expressed grave concern over our lack of consistency
And rightfully so.
and inspections and good code, especially for the hurricane-related incidents.
And for those of you who aren't aware, we kind of watched a lot of it unfold, over the last couple of years in front of us, in some cases, and the licensing board has been asked to participate. But if you do a little investigation on what's happened with some of the inspectors and some of the fraud that's happened, a little Google search will get you there fairly quickly, certainly around the New Orleans area, so.
And just to be clear, New Orleans does seem to have more than its fair share. It seems to be very concentrated, and that's the word I'm going to stick with. It's a little concentrated in New Orleans, probably by the numbers.
Yep.
It happens throughout the state.
Yeah, it does.
Every little community has a bump somewhere. Some of it's intentional, some of it's not. We're not trying to address anybody who's made a mistake. We're trying to address those that have a pattern or practice of profiting from their overlooking something.
We'll take the same approach that we've done with licensing contractors.
That's our intent.
Follow the rules, regulations, and those things. If you don't,
That's correct.
yeah.
There's a lot of discretion in there, just there isn't what you guys do every day. And I think that we try really hard not to bring you things that show no bad intent, no one has been hurt on, and they've made corrective action. You see guys that ignore us or have hurt somebody.
But by the same token, wind up with a policy that's uniform and easily understood by everybody across the industry.
That is correct.
That would be the goal.
That's the goal.
Cool.
And I think that was more for discussion purposes than anything
Yeah,
else.
I don't think there's any action required from this board, but I think it was, we've been asked by, powers to be in the state, and I think this is part of the governor's plan to realign and make things more efficient and put things in the right place. And so with that, I know the chairman's been active in some discussions there, and so we got to take it on, we got to do what we got to do. Now, that's going to affect us from a budgetary perspective.
It is.
We're going to have to lead.
It is, and that's some conversations that we're going to have. Currently, the code council is supplemented by the fire marshal's office in a lot of ways. I don't know that that's a position that we want to be in, and it's certainly not a position that we can be in. There's going to be some fees and some costs that we're going to have to address. There will not be near what it is for a contractor, because the requirements would be vastly different, but they're going to have to pony up at some point.
We're going to have to figure that out.
We got to figure that out.
It'll be revenue neutral, though.
That's our goal.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, just to be revenue neutral.
Self-funding.
Okay, is that all the new business
So
you
the
got?
permit officer would be picking up that cost?
Well, the certificate holder would, so the inspector himself would, but typically, like any certifications that our staff requires.
It's a class.
We get them to go do whatever, and we pay for that. So I'm sure that the municipalities would cover that cost. It's insignificant, truly. It's a couple $100 per. Third-party companies, we have to handle that differently. It's for profit, so they're going to have to pay the cost of doing business, like all y'all do. I have Mr. Mallett, I don't need any more new business.
Okay, well, if there's no new business to go,
Motion to adjourn.
I got a second?
Second.
If y'all would recall that the camera may not quite be off yet, as you
Yeah, go get
exit,
cookies and
and if we could get a picture with Mr. Lambert,
Oh,
that
yeah,
would be
let's do
appreciated.
that. Oh, Mr. Lance? I got a resolution somewhere. You signed, didn't you sign this? Yeah, I will get one. Jerry gave it to you, you already signed it. I got your resolution?
Not yet. We can work on it.
Take a picture. Y'all want to step up?
No.
Mr. Merrick. Norman! We need to take a picture right quick.
I have a resolution somewhere.
We don't have one.
Yeah, we did. I signed it.
Oh, you did? You signed some other ones,
I signed a bunch of them.
Let's push these.
You get you to sit. The youngest one up front, right?
Maybe two.
Tied up. The youngest up front? It's Kim.
All right, 3,